the earthquake damage and injuries from the earthquake was far less than.
Oh, far less. Far less.
Yeah.
Only one person died in our city.
In Koriyama.
In this area, I don't know how many. It's only few died by earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Tsunami, I don't know how many. Altogether is what, 23,000 died?
Yeah.
From the north
To
to
the south.
Chiba Prefecture near Tokyo. But north of Tokyo, there's some big tsunami hit in the Chiba Prefecture.
Yeah. Nobby, is there any word about how many Christians may have died? And
No, we don't know yet.
you don't know.
But at least we know that the one Baptist church, Conservative Baptist Church in Okumamachi, which is far north of Iwaki, where the nuclear plant is,
Mm-hmm.
they are evacuated. Church is standing, but they cannot have service. And then that church is probably the largest church in the Fukushima Prefecture, but split all over.
But it had to be evacuated, or it was
Should be
damaged.
evacuated because of termination of the radiation.
Ah, I see.
So he's the pastor, and about 70 members of that church are in west of Tokyo, at north of Tama, Newtown. But they don't know when they can go back, and they have the service in the Okumamachi in Fukushima
So you have damage like this that we can see,
by tsunami.
and then there's also the radiation that you cannot see that has displaced a number of people.
At the moment, still, it's not controlled yet.
Right.
And so we just pray that God give the wisdom to those workers to control those 6 reactors.
We've controlled the nuclear plant, and even where we are now, there is radiation, but it's lower because we are to the south of those plants. And then what about the families that have been displaced and the temporary housing? So what are the needs that they have?
At the present, not all of those evacuees can get into that temporary housing. But at least they're going to have I hate to use the word lottery, but they're going to draw something. Some are going to win to get into those temporary housing. You saw that some of them in the Otama village near the camp. So they probably finishing up by the middle of early July, I think.
And what are your plans to minister to those people? I know you have some ideas about how you might be able to reach those people. What are your plans to do that?
Actually, that's not my original plan, because the one that was experienced in the far west about 10 years ago, there's a big earthquake in the Osaka area and Kobe. And those preachers shared with us that what is a necessary thing to do after the temporary houses will be built, and they are become so lonely, and far less volunteers come suddenly, and they become lonely and no help, no financial help, no material help. So we need to give the hands, and after those temporary houses will be built.
So those temporary houses will be completed early July, and after the attention goes away, that will be the time where real ministry is needed, and your plan is to go in
Indeed.
with Bibles.
And the materials too.
Materials also. So we need to pray for you. How can we pray for you, and how could people help you in that ministry?
Well, at the present that we have 5 pastors in this area, 8 churches. You can you figure out by yourself 5 pastors and 8 churches. But we are all understanding each other about the need and how to do it. So all we need is about the Bibles to get. Of course, it costs some. Each Bible, I believe that I was told about $3 or so. That's only New Testament. Then some materials, some just handed out the gospel tracts or Bibles. But I believe that Jesus has done that, and he provided some meal too for 5,000, 7,000. So the meals and with the gospel, and it does work. So that's where we are praying and talking. And meantime, we got to know how many will be there. And each housing project is different. They have a different need. So that, I think the pastor's got to knock in doors and find out.
So you're going to be very busy, and that's going to be a real challenge for you personally and just 5 pastors altogether
Yeah.
to reach all these people. So it sounds like we also need to pray for workers.
As we need. And that's what Jesus said, that harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. And that's so true. The elderly man that we met just a few minutes ago, he said after the things will be settled a little bit, then they need help. That's what exactly he said.
Right.
So you
right.
heard in Japanese, even though you didn't understand. That's what he
Right.
said.
Yes.
So I'm glad to hear that.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.